feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions. You feel like, you feel like, you feel like, you feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions. You feel like, you feel like, you feel like, you feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions. You feel like, you feel like, you feel like, you feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions. You feel like, you feel like, you feel like, you feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions.
Put your trust in God. So many times we make oaths to different organization, people, friends that we can trust. And I'm here to tell somebody, put all that time in God, whatever you do. Man will deceive you, but God won't. Oftentimes people be misled. And most time people choose to join different things because they didn't have love. Some was hurt when it was younger. Some was molested. And I'm here to tell you, put all that trust you got in God. You don't need nobody to survive in this world. You don't need people to make you feel like you being loved. If you put all your time in God, I promise you, He gonna give you everything you need, everything that your heart desire. I always try to do a shortcut when I talk, but anyway, make sure you always put your trust in God and no man. Man will deceive you, but God won't. It ain't no such thing as that's my dog. It ain't no such thing as that's my friend. People change over time. We all had somebody in our life who we thought we can trust, who have backstabbed us. We all been around people, even family, who we thought really loved us and they didn't. But if you put your trust in God, I promise you, He will never leave you nor forsake you, nor have you beg and bread. A lot of times people do things, even if it's out of the will of God, because they love that person or they think that person loved them. We got to stop putting our trust in people. Nobody can never get me to lie for somebody if I know they did something wrong. Nobody can get me to steal from somebody if I know it's wrong. A lot of things that we as people go through in life is based on the things that we choose to do, how we treat people, things we have done. The bad things we did in life, sometimes it don't come to us right away. How you doing, Wonder Woman? How are you, honey? A lot of times we don't get faced with our difficult tasks until we start living good in life. I told somebody last year, let me slow down for a sec, because Binky got my mind going in circles right now because he's making that noise. I'm doing pretty good, Wonder Woman. I can't complain, honey. I can't complain. How you feeling? It's going to take time for you to, get over on what happened to your family member, your dad or whatnot. But Every day is a healing process for you and Betty Boop, Wonder Woman. It's gonna get better. Cause I know when my dad passed, it took me years. It bothered me for years. But always pray and ask God to, heal your heart or whatnot, and He'll do it. Yes, it is hard, Wonder Woman. I've been there. It's not easy. It seemed like it be on your mind constantly. It go away, then come back again. Go away, then it come. Just the thought alone. It is hard. I never thought when I was younger, um, when I was way younger, probably like 9, 10 years old, that I could remember. We really didn't have deaths in our family. It took years until I got up in my almost till I got up in my 30s, matter of fact, when death started happening in my family, as I could remember. On both sides of my family, matter of fact, 30 something years. And I remember I told my mom when she was living, I said, we don't really have deaths in our family. But baby, when it come, it come. Now, what bothered me the most is when my sister passed. And it's not so much on how she passed. It was just a thought constantly, every single day. And that took years for me to heal from that. So when my mom passed, my daddy, my sister passed, I became numb, Wonder Woman. I became numb to a point to where I didn't want to go to no more funeral because we still had deaths after the fact. But I became numb. I didn't want to go to no more funeral. I said, that's it for me. I ain't going to no more funeral. And I didn't. That was it. It's hard. It hurts. Knowing the fact that, you grew up with your dad. Your dad is your dad, and you're going to think about the memories, when you was young, to the time you became, a grown woman or whatnot. That's enough alone where it hurt, where you're not going to see that person no more. But if you pray and you ask God, even if you don't see results, you still pray and ask God to remove that pain from you, remove that hurt. I did it, but I did it years after the fact. But if you pray and you really mean it, God will take it from you. He'll take that hurt from you. He'll ease it out. Where you will be able to function the proper way. You won't be able, it's hard. Death is not an easy thing. When I was younger, I always thought as a little girl, I always felt people don't die until I got a certain age. And I realized that people do die. God called people home. You ain't gonna stop, boy. You always bringing something. Why you poop? Come here. Here. Hey. But everything gonna be okay, Wonder Woman. It ain't gonna be like that forever. I promise you. Every day is a healing process. And you're gonna get there. You and Betty Boop and your family. I'm so sorry to hear that, When these deaths happen in my family, I every time I leave the graveside, I say, well, who next? Because nobody know the time, or the day when they're going to leave. But there's only a hope that we survive because we don't know when we're going to leave here. But I always tell y'all it's very important that you ask God to give you long life. Extend your years is very important. Don't ever live in this world and don't ask God. Don't ever live in this world expecting. You know, you could do whatever you want to do, but it's always good to ask God to extend your years. It's very important. You got to do it every day. But it's very important to do so, Wonder Woman. We all going to leave one day. All our time is outnumbered. But I just came on here to say right quick, you know, Kabinky had my mind kind of bobbleated a little bit. And it kind of mess up what I want to say. But what I was saying, put your trust in God. I don't care who it is. I've never been a strong believer as I'm going to use you for an example, Wonder Woman. You be on my channel or whatnot. But in person, if I've been around you and me and you was friends, I'm going to tell you the right thing. Even if I see you swaying to the left a little bit, I'm going to say, Wonder Woman, I don't think that's a good idea. And I'm going to give you my opinion on why that's not a good idea, right? Oftentimes, we put our trust in people instead of God. I don't know who this message for, but put your trust in God. Don't put your trust in people. People will deceive you. Always be honest. When my kids was young, I used to always instill in my kids, no matter if you did wrong, tell the truth. When I stole years ago, when I told y'all when I've been overseas, even though I know it was wrong, because you know when you change the tag on something, that's still considered stealing. I never lied to them and told them I didn't did it. I told them, yes, I did it. We can't gain in this world if we're going to sit and lie, even though we did something bad. Even though it was wrong, I still told the police officer I did it. And I had faith. I was praying inside the whole time. I said, Lord, if you take me out of this, I promise you I won't do it no more. You know, some people may look at it as people don't tell truths, they lie a lot, or it's impossible for a person to be truthful. Because I was accused of being a liar for years. One thing, if I did something, I'm going to say I did it. If I talk about somebody, I'm going to let them know I talk about them if they ask me. We don't get anything out of lying. So many times, you know, we as people, we always put our trust in man or woman, expecting something great out of it, only to get deceived later. I believe God just wants us to admit to our wrongdoing and he will get us up out of whatever it is. But if we sit and lie, God can't have our back when we sit and lie on something. That's why I couldn't lie. Because I felt if I would have lied to that officer when I changed the tag or whatnot, I know God couldn't get me out of that mess. He could have, but he wouldn't. I just been going on faith. I said, Lord, if you take me up out of it, let me tell you something, Wonder Woman. I was shook, honey. I said, we going back to the States the next day. I was sitting there thinking like, oh gosh, what I'm going to do. Ooh, he getting in trouble because anytime when you are a dependent, the person over you can get in trouble. And I said, oh gosh, they're going to lose their rank. I mean, all kind of things were going in my mind. But when God took me up out of that, baby, I ain't stole no more. I stole 2 times and I ain't did it no more. 2 times that I could remember. I ain't did it no more. That's why it's very important that we can sit and put our trust in our friends, family member, neighbors. Then we should trust to put our faith in God, our trust in God. God is the only one who can overcome any trouble that we are in. Man can't do that for us. God can even change the way a person think to make things work in our favor if we only be truthful and do the right thing. When I've been in service one Sunday, that been years ago, before my bishop passed away, this couple came to visit that Sunday, and I told y'all about the man who wanted to give an offering to help the church or whatnot, and his wife stopped him. She took the bundle of money out of his hand. She forced it back in his hand. After she took the money out of his hand, she took $5 out that money. She forced that money back in that man's hand and told him to put it back in his pocket. I remember like yesterday, y'all, because I was sitting right behind her. Just that fast, that lady done took his blessings away. Now, tidings can be anything. It can be seasoning. It could be food. You can help somebody that's considered tithing, right? But I'm saying by the way how he chose and how he wanted to do it. She done took whatever blessings that he wanted to give. She done stopped his blessing by telling him to put it back in his pocket. Stop putting your trust in people. Put it in God. Now, just what if that man was praying to God about something that he really needed? And just what if that God spoke in that man's spirit to give with whatever it is that he was going to give? What if God has spoken to that man to give that which he's supposed to have give, and the lady stopped him? She done took his blessing from him. That's why I say don't put your trust in nobody except God. Man will cause us to lose our blessings all the time. That's why it's very important that we pay attention. If God tell you to do something, you do it. We don't have to sit back and contact nobody to get permission or get somebody opinion on anything that God asks you to. We don't need no opinion from nobody. Do what God tell you to do, because I promise you, he's the one going to carry you through all your needs, everything that you want at that time. We lose because we are our own worst enemy. Listening to other people because we love them, they like us, or they've been there for us. Put that trust in God. Get your blessings that God got for you. I've always been a strong believer when you go in prayer and you ask, because I don't pray for things when I go in prayer. I may ask God to change different things within my life, but I don't necessarily pray for things, right? But we have people out here who really pray for things. And when you pray for something, God make ask you to do a task, something that you probably never did before. I was put in that predicament several times, but God tell me I'm gonna need you to go to that home right there. You don't know them people, but I'm gonna need you to go right there. And when I went just what God tell me, when I did with just what God tell me to do, that lady broke down and she was crying. She says nighttime, but I know somebody been coming. That lady literally been in tears because they've been going through something. Her and her husband was going through something. And she really said, you know, it's nightfall, but God still sent somebody. And we don't even know you like that. God answered these people prayer. God uses us to go to and fro throughout this land, this world, this earth, whatever, people want to call it or whatnot. God used us, his people, to deliver messages, to help people. And a lot of things we might don't even understand why we got to do it. But if you listen to God on how he said do it, I promise you it's going to work out for their better good and yours too. Everything I have give, I always get it back in return. Always get it back. Never have to wait for it. Keep your trust in God. Don't never ever let man deceive you. Because anytime you doing something good, that's God. Only Satan to tell you to do stupid stuff, don't do it. Or Satan to tell you stupid stuff like, God didn't tell you to do that. Satan, the only one who will put doubt in a person's mind. But if it's something good that's not going to harm you or that person, that's God speaking to you. Don't call nobody and get no second opinion on what God tell you to do. You gotta go by faith. You gotta remember the prayer that you did the night before. You gotta remember the prayer that you did probably a week ago. How you doing, Miss Carla? I hope all is well with you, honey. Sometimes people forget the prayer that they put in with God, and God will just wait a couple days or a week to come straight to you and tell you to do something. Just to test you, to test your faith, because you don't went in prayer because you don't forget about the prayer you made. I had a family member who came to me a couple years ago, and they asked me about tithings and offering. And she was saying, is it true when you give tithings and offering? Or is it true when you do what God said do, he'll bless you? I said, I promise you, it's true. I said, don't do what I did. When I got off the bandwagon, it was very hard for me to get back to that place I've been in. I said, once your ball get rolling, stay on it. Don't ever let nobody doubt you or put something in your head about anything when it's something good that God wants you to do. I don't care what it is. That's how I fall, because a bug was in my ear. My blessings was cut off. I couldn't really manifest things the way I used to no more. And it was very hard for me to get back in that place once I've been in. I could have speak things and it happened. Man, it was beautiful. But that one bug that been in my ear messed it all up. I'm not going to sit back and allow people to get to that place I've been in where that bug was in my ear. I tell people better so it won't happen to them, where they could be able to keep bouncing their ball, living the good life that God wants them to live. Some people don't want to help people in that kind of way. So I told one of my family members, I said, yes, it is true. I said, now, I said, yeah, it is true. So that person been like, because I wanted to do X, Y, Z, but I was unsure. I said, if God tell you to do something, you don't need me to give you the answers. But I can tell you it is true. But once you do it, don't stop. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your husband. When it comes to God, you got to pick God first before your husband. I promise you. Once you get that ball rolling, baby, you ain't gonna want for nothing. The only person can mess that up is you. So she must be went on the next day and did what she said she was gonna do. Now remind you now, A couple days prior, she got denied for something. Listen now, y'all. A couple days prior, she got denied for something, right? She came to my house. She was telling me how she got denied for something. And that's when she had asked me about tithings, offering, and doing what God asked you to do. That's when she had asked all that same day. I said, I promise you, if you do what God tell you to do, and you go back, because it been a couple days ago when you got denied. God said, if you do what He tell you to do, and you go back, even though it been a couple days ago, I promise you, God said, you ain't gonna have no more denial. It's gonna go through. And she did it. And it went through. So I'm here to say, if you do what God's saying, not man, and you trust in God and not man or woman, I promise you things gonna work in your favor.
Thank you.
So many times we listen to people because we love them, or we join to something, or we choose to put our signature to be along with others. People who gonna stop us away from our blessings. Binky. Hold on, y'all. Let me do this for Bank right quick. Okay, go ahead on and watch this right quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So when she went and did what she how you doing, Miss Amelia? I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. So she did trust and believe, and she went back and she did what God tell her to do. And I told her, don't you ever in your life go to anybody when God tell you to do something. Some things God wants you to do in secret. He don't want nobody to know what you done. The whole world ain't supposed to know. I ain't even supposed to know. But you didn't know no better, so now you know. So when God tell you to do something, you do it. And I told her, if something tell you to kill yourself and get in your car and do this, you know that's not God. Don't do that. But always do what God tell you to do. That's how you're going to get your blessing. That's how you're going to prosper. That's how great things going to begin to happen. Then God going to allow you to manifest things in your life for yourself or for others if He see fit, you know. So don't ever let nobody tell you that's not true. It's true, because I lived it for years. Trust and believe me until I mess it up. Man, I used to always sit and say, Lord, I thank you. I still do it in spite of when I was going through. I still used to do it. I said, Lord, I thank you for my trials and tribulations, because I understand I had to build myself back to that place, because I did it to myself. So many times we as people, we always try to fault other people for our downfall, but it's us who mess up us. But when we take accountability for what we do, how we choose to do it, if we did it to others, God loved that. He honor that. I don't care if you in trouble. If you admit your wrongdoing, even though you know it's wrong, and you try to get out of something, I promise you, God will get you up out of it if He know your heart mean well. I did a lot of things, I ain't say I'm perfect, but I did a lot of things, and I admit to what I did. I done told people I talked about them. I ain't the type of person just gonna sit back and just, I go to that person, look, I've been talking about you, and you've been talking about me too. And I've been saying some nasty things about you. Will you forgive me? Or however the case may go. Man, there's a lot of ways in life we as people, we can level up real quick. A lot of time we stagnated in life because we hold on to the things that God wants us to let go. Let me use this for an example. Most people don't want to admit to stealing or taking things that doesn't belong to them. Most people don't. I choose to be honest because I understand the rules. If I was to hold on to something and keep lying, knowing that is wrong, I'm only holding myself back. A lot of time we don't have in life because we keep doing things out of the will of God, and it be simple things. The most simplest thing in life, y'all. Lying. Let me use this for an example. I had one family member who have money, but she has said she don't have no money. And I used to always tell her, I'm like, look, stop saying that you don't have no money when you got money, because you're going to be done curse your pockets where you really not going to have no money. Every time this lady used to do this, y'all, she had the penny pinch. I said, look, it's ways you can do things without you sitting here lying. I said, look, if you got money, you could tell somebody, look, I got money, but I got bills I got to pay. You done took yourself out of something for you to lie and not have anything. Somebody asks you, oh, we got service. Are you coming? We want to see you there. I'm not going to make no promise. But I try to come. But if you don't see me, that means, I ain't able to come, or I didn't want to come. Those are ways you can get out of things without lying. Don't worry about how people going to look at you. People going to talk about you. Even if you're doing good or bad, they still going to talk. Sometimes people want to save face. Let people think whatever about you. You save yourself. You do the right thing. These same people who always try to save face because they want to keep a certain image. They don't want to tell the truth because they're so much wrapped up in image. They're holding themselves back. You do what's right. That's why I always live a life to a point. I don't care what I did. I'm going to admit to what I did. Either that person going to like it or they don't. I'm still going to be me. That's the attitude everybody should have. Ain't nobody in this world got a heaven and hell to put you in. Because people going to talk about you, whether you doing good or bad, they still going to talk about you. Don't sit and worry about how somebody see you. I wonder how they going to think about me. They already think crazy of you already, so it don't even matter. And what should it matter when God going to level you up in every area of your life? That's more important than anything. When they got to sit back and worry about saving face, God going to level your life up where you won't want for nothing. He won't have you begging bread. You're going to have what you need. Don't let people trick y'all out of your destiny. We got a lot of these kind of things out here now. They're going to get it by all means necessary. Even if they got to tear God's people down. Excuse me. Put your trust in God, not man. Always. I don't care what it look like. If you know somebody wrong, let them know they're wrong. If somebody want to accuse you of something, knowing that you did what you being accused about, if they can't accept the truth on what you telling them, hey, let them live with that. Do not allow these type things to hold you back. Keep your head up. You know you walking in truth. You know you doing the right thing. But it always going to be somebody in your life who going to make it seem like you're a nothing. You're lying. You never tell the truth about nothing. Don't worry about these people. People who live like this, y'all, they don't have no thought about God. They don't even pray to God. They're just trying to save their image in these streets to people when these very people don't even care for them. Do what's right to save yourself. I'm not going to sit and lie on nobody or make up any lie just to make myself look good. But I'm going to tell the truth. I promise you on that one. I don't care if it hurt a person feeling. I'm going to let you know the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. I ain't going to lie to you to make your feelings. I ain't going to lie to you to make you feel good. It's better for you to hurt somebody's feelings than for you to tell a lie. And if they're going to hate you just because you told the truth, they ain't never love you from the get-go. Love is honesty. Not somebody sitting there lying to you. That's why I don't care. Y'all shouldn't care. People is entitled to their opinion, yes. But at the end of the day, don't ever allow somebody else's opinion consume you to make you do things out of the will of God, to make you want to sit and lie for somebody, make you sit and take something don't belong to you just because you think you getting away. But God see it. You don't want to have to live with no turmoil on your back. You want to feel free, liked. Every day you get up, you don't want to have that negative impact on your mind on what you have done. You want to be free. You want to be able to get what you want. That's why I tell y'all the other day, y'all got to be careful of people who try to make you operate out of something that you know you're not. Some of these people are ahead of the game with life itself. Some of these people done tapped into things which your mind couldn't even fathom. That's why I tell y'all to keep your head above water. We talked about that yesterday. I told y'all on tonight, make sure when you do things, do it from your heart. When you do it, God gonna bless you. You ain't got nothing to worry about. All these things that I be telling y'all is for your protection and for God to make, when God bless y'all, to keep your blessings flowing. I done been on both ends of the stick. That's why I don't make oaths that I can't keep. I don't make promises I can't keep. Or I try not to. Because I know it'll hold us back in life when we do this type of stuff. Every time we tell a fib on something, something getting taken away, but we can't see it at that time. We losing. But I promise you, if you stay faithful and honest and true to yourself and God too, I promise you everything gonna work out for your better good. Everything gonna work out for your better good. I'm to a point now, I see somebody was throwing some little slick shots or whatnot, y'all. Because I know in life, we all got something that's wrong with us, right? Or some, they, probably got things they don't like about themselves. Learn to ignore these type things. Don't allow it to get to you, get the best of you. When you're feeling good and you're in a good mood, keep your mood going. If you find somebody who just swing to the left, sometimes it's better for you to change the conversation or walk away. You don't want nobody to take your greatness away. When you wake up in the morning, you feel good. You happy every morning. You don't feel upset about anything. Don't let nobody take that away from you. Because I promise you, it's always somebody, even if it's a stranger, it's always somebody going to sit and piss you off when you're in a good mood. Just walk away or change the subject. Just the other day, y'all have been in the grocery store. Now I'm 40 something years old, pushing my buggy, had to pick up a couple things or whatnot. The lady must be opening up the express lane because the grocery store was kind of packed. The grocery store had a good bit of people in there. The young girl that passed by, she was very disrespectful. She was on the phone, but she was very disrespectful towards me. So my thing is, I'm like, come again? I said, you a child of me. I'm a grown woman. You a child. I got kids your age. See, people got to understand, you know, I raised my kids to have respect. We all, as mother and father, we raise our kids to have respect. But at the end of the day, when these kids get a certain age, they still going to do what they want to do. But I always try to tell my kids, when it come to people who older than you, have respect and walk away. A lot of these kids don't seem to understand, when you disrespect an older person, being very disrespectful, that's the life they got to live. They got to pay that back. But she didn't think so, because you know why? Her accountability was with people who she really loved. You get what I'm saying? You got some family members out here right now who go hard for their family member. They go so hard for another family member than what they do with God. That girl who did what she did and been very disrespectful, she going hard because her loved one, how her loved one feel. And these people I don't even know. That's why I said when I first come on, put your trust in God, not man. That's why I teach my kids, no matter what mama go through in life, don't you ever be in my business. You still have respect for your elders. Now, I know it's normal for anybody who we love to get upset when they hear things, somebody being disrespectful. That's natural instincts is going to kick in, right? But I'm talking about, I never raised my kids, and we all shouldn't raise our kids when we go through, they got to get mad too. I don't raise my kids to be like that. Have respect for your elders. Put your trust in God. No matter what it look like, put your trust in God. And we all need to put our trust in God. Sometimes when we put our trust in people who we love, even family member, friends, somebody you grew up with, whoever, you losing. We losing. We got to go hard for God in that way, not another individual. Do I love my kids more than God? No, I sure don't. And I always been like this. I love God more than my kids. I always been like this. When we fight for God, God gonna fight for us. And I promise you, he will never allow nobody to deceive you. He will never allow nobody to get away with nothing. in secret. I don't care if it's in secret. He would never allow nobody to do you in. He would never allow nobody to get a sneak up on you, whatever you want to call it. He won't allow it to happen. Because you put your trust in him, you didn't with man. And that's a beautiful thing. I'm not going to hold y'all. Thank y'all for joining me again. Make sure y'all hit the like button and y'all have a good night. I didn't even know it'd been this late. Good gracious. Good night, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining me again. I appreciate y'all. I really, really do. I really appreciate y'all. Wonder Woman, tell Betty Boop I say hello. Honey, my prayers are with her. And give it to God, baby. I know it's not going to be easy, but I promise you, if you just keep praying, God is going to ease your heart, babe. I've been there. All right. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Thank you so much.